Okay, so the truth is that most of the foods we're about to talk about will not actually kill you after you take a bite. You'd probably have to eat a lot of them at one time in order to be in real trouble, though some can cause problems just by being consumed regularly. Still though, we never know where death's icy grip might come from. Most of us probably fear a car accident or a shark attack more than we fear a spice that we have sitting in our kitchen at home. The reality though is, for a lot of us, the shark is a lot less likely to take us down than a leafy green vegetable we thought would make us strong. That is, unless you're open water swimming a long way off the coast of South Africa. If that's the case, you should be more worried about a shark than a collard green. Keep watching to find out the 8 foods you should stop eating so much before they kill you. Number 1. Brazil nuts. Well, the good news here is that Brazil is much more famous for its soccer players than it is for its nuts. Most of us would probably be quite happy to eat a bag of trail mix and leave the Brazil nuts on the side. Nonetheless, you probably didn't expect that eating them on the regular could kill you. Having too many Brazil nuts can cause an overdose of the mineral called selenium. Still confused? Selenium is found in soil, water, and a number of foods, and is actually a good mineral for a number of bodily processes. The right quantity can lower cholesterol, reduce high blood pressure during pregnancy, and even help combat prostate cancer. Too much though, and you have problems. Symptoms of excess selenium include fatigue, upset stomach, hair loss, brittle hair or nails, discolored teeth, a metallic taste in the mouth, garlic-like bad breath, and in extreme cases, nervous system issues. Now don't worry, you definitely don't need to avoid Brazil nuts completely. One Brazil nut contains between 66 to 95 micrograms of selenium, and it would take well over 400 micrograms for you to even put your health slightly at risk. Keep your intake to 2 or 3 nuts a day, and you'll be fine. Number 2. Nutmeg. There was an internet craze a few years ago when some teenagers discovered nutmeg could be used to achieve what was called a household high. And this is true. It's because of a compound called myristicin, which could give you a sort of high in small doses, but is simply not worth the risk because of what happens in larger quantities. It would take a seriously large amount of nutmeg to make you sick, but if you consumed enough of it, like tablespoons, you could be in big trouble. People who have pushed the limit on it have experienced headaches, nausea, dizziness, and even hallucinations. So maybe avoid that household high. Just to be safe. Number 3. Rhubarb leaves. Especially popular in the United Kingdom in a pie or crumble, rhubarb is a delicious sweet and bitter root that caramelizes beautifully for a special weekend dessert. You'll find that if you grow it in your garden, it will look a lot different than it would if you bought it at a grocery store. That's because it won't have any leaves on it, and for good reason too. Eating the leaves will cause a burning sensation in your mouth and throat that leads to vomiting, convulsions, and yep, you guessed it, death, though only in extreme cases. One study concluded that a 130-pound woman would need about 10 pounds of rhubarb leaves to show symptoms of oxalic acid poisoning that leads to death. This is a seriously large amount of leaves that you can't even buy in most stores, so to be honest, you probably don't need to worry. The stalks are still safe to eat, so the rhubarb crumble is too. Keep on baking. Number 4. Mushrooms. Some taste great in pasta with butter and garlic. Some help you achieve an out-of-body experience and existential awakenings. And some just kill you. The positives are great, but they aren't worth the potential downsides, so don't go messing with mushrooms you find on the ground. In fact, with anything you're eating, if you aren't 100% sure where it came from or what it is, maybe just spit it out and make a sandwich instead. Lethal mushrooms look scarily similar to the safe ones, and even experts sometimes struggle to tell the difference. 14 people in San Francisco were once poisoned by a mushroom, and 3 of them needed a liver transplant. So be careful and stick to the shiitake and the portobellos. Number 5. Cashews. Cashews are considered to be really healthy in general. They have tons of health benefits, such as lowering blood sugar and helping to avoid diabetes, as well as packing a pretty nifty punch of protein for those who follow a vegan diet. What a lot of us don't know, however, is that eating cashews in certain forms can be really dangerous, more specifically with their shell still on. This is because they contain a deadly toxin called urushiol. The urushiol only exists in the leaves, shell, root, and stem of the cashew tree. Coming into contact with it, even without consuming it, is a lot like coming into contact with poison ivy. A urushiol-induced skin rash appears as bumps or patches that are inflamed and feel like a burn. Cashew nuts are actually used as rat poison because of this. Thankfully, though, rats are a lot smaller than humans, so you'd have to eat a lot of cashews to die from them, or even experience the itching, tumors, and high pain sensitivity that rats experience. On top of this, urushiol only occurs in raw cashews, and all cashew nuts that you can buy in the store have been steamed to remove the toxins, meaning they're actually not raw at all. If you're growing them in your garden for some reason, though, be really careful and be sure to wear gloves when you handle them. That's especially important if you have a sensitivity to poison ivy, because people with that issue are extremely sensitive to cashews. Number 6. Potatoes. Once again, this is a slight exaggeration. It's only rotten green potatoes that can kill you. Otherwise, everyone who's ever eaten a French fry would be in real trouble, and that's probably all of us. A potato that has gone green doesn't actually mean it's unripe. It just means that you've got a toxic food in front of you. The longer potatoes sit in the light and in warm temperatures, the more likely they are to produce a chemical called solanine. This is the substance that can kill you if you consume too much of it. The green spot it produces on the spud is sort of a generous warning from Mother Nature not to eat it. So be sure to check your potatoes for these spots, and if the whole potato is green, get rid of it as quickly and as thoroughly as you can. You don't want a dog picking it out of the trash. If consumed, solanine can lead to headaches, nausea, and eventually, in some cases, central nervous system and brain problems that can kill you. That's why most people store potatoes in a dark drawer or kitchen cupboard rather than in the fruit bowl. Dark spaces are the key to a healthy spud. Number 7. Tuna. Yep, sushi's favorite fish is a silent killer in some rare instances. This is because tuna is a saltwater fish and the oceans are experiencing rising mercury levels. The fish that live in the oceans get affected by this too, and their absorption of the mercury puts those who consume them in potential danger. Mercury is literally a metal, and since this is in liquid form and extremely low quantities even before absorption, you would have to eat a massive amount of tuna to feel any of its effects. But mercury itself is a massively toxic substance, so the mere mention of the word should be an alarm bell to some of us. Touching or consuming it can lead to neurological problems, and in higher cases can also lead to hearing problems, a lack of coordination, and difficulty in walking straight. It's most commonly found in thermometers, so you should also be careful not to break that nice glass thermometer your mom uses to take your temperature. It's also worth noting that tuna is extremely good for you, not to mention delicious, so don't take this as a sign to cut it out of your diet completely. It's full of omega fats that are great for your heart and is also a super source of protein. Just be careful not to eat too much per week, and maybe switch to a different smaller fish every now and then just to mix things up. As they say, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Number 8. Brown rice. We saved the most surprising one for last. You may not know this, but brown and white rice are technically the same thing. They are just at different stages of processing. Brown rice is the less processed form of the grain, and its darker shade comes from the outer layer that is removed in the more processed, slightly more delicious, white version. This technically makes brown rice better for you, but more dangerous in extremely high doses, because it might contain an extremely dangerous substance called arsenic. Arsenic is an element usually bound to other chemical compounds in the soil. It can be absorbed into some rice, and arsenic pollution has risen due to human activities. It can lead to cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, all of which can kill you. You'll probably be okay though. Humans have been eating rice for centuries, and not many of us are dying because of it. The higher toxic waste in the world is making things dangerous though. The best thing to do would be to cut down on littering and see if you can stop polluting before you stop eating brown rice. How many of these potentially deadly substances do you have in your kitchen right now? Let us know in the comments below. Here are 2 more videos you might find interesting. Feel free to choose the one you like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos on health, subscribe to the channel.